The topic is be the master of your own health. You've heard this saying of Hippocrates, very famous, let food be thy medicine, medicine thy food. And today that is even more appropriate with all of the additives and pesticides that we face in our food supplies, that certain foods, they will help us immensely for our health. As we know, the way in which animals are treated today in industrial farming makes the products that they produce or which we eat from not very healthy. And our master, Sri Ananda Marga, my master, said allopathic medicines and the Western drugs disturb the ecological balance of the body. Means a huge quantity of negative energy is focused on that portion of the body which the medicine is trying to attack the disease. So
ask them if they can see your
somehow
presentation. Ask them if they can see your presentation, if they can hear you okay.
Can you see my presentation okay?
Can they hear you okay?
How about my sound? Is my sound fine?
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's why when we are on a course of antibiotics, it's important that we take probiotic food, which we can find in all fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi, miso, cheese, and so on. The most important physical element of healing is not taught to students in medicine-based system. Up until recently, doctors get only about 20 hours in their entire course on medicine about nutrition. Yet we know how important this is for health. The most important element of healing is actually detoxification. That's what we're going to talk about at length this evening. Where do toxins come from? Various sources. Chemicals, pollution, radiation. When I was living in our farm in South Korea, everybody's spraying. Everybody is spraying their fields. We were the only ones that were doing organic. I can't say that I was affected. I just don't really know. But you can see the people that are spraying, they have masks, gas masks. It's like they don't even look human, though, because those chemicals are so strong. And they're spraying everything. Of course, we know from anxiety and stress, we build up negative emotions. And this causes acidity in our bloodstream and leads to all kinds of health complications. That's why stress, the ability to, as far as possible, remain free from stress through meditation, yoga exercises, walks in nature. These are very valuable tools for good company, help us to overcome the effects of stress in our life. especially in modern day life, where we're rushing from one appointment to the next, one duty to the next, and we're harassed by so many things we see in social media sites. But most come from difficult to digest food. When this food is not properly digested, it weakens the organs, leading to fermentation inside. And then assorted health problems will arise. But of course, when we get sick, we don't like it. We maybe miss work. But there's some purpose to that disease, and that is an alarm. We're doing something wrong. The body's telling us, that intelligent machine of the body knows when it's overloaded and it cannot cope with the toxins anymore, and we fall sick. And so we have to listen to what the body's telling us. And so it's a chance for us to change and improve our ways, whether it's in the terms of our mental attitude, our relationships, the food that we're eating. Are we getting enough exercise? And in our system, as we'll see later, the very great importance of fasting at intervals. Probably the best practice we can do for our longevity is fasting at intervals. Here it is already. Rest the organs by fasting or minimizing the work of the digestive system. Normally, when we're eating food, the body is digesting, assimilating that food and providing nutrients to our system. When we're not eating food, the body has a chance to repair and maintain. And you might have heard of this word, autophagy. In 2016, the Japanese scientist, I forget his name just now, he won the Nobel Prize in chemistry for proving autophagy means that during fasting, the body recycles those cells that are of no value. They are recycled and used as energy in the fasting day. So the body is cleaning itself up on the fasting day. That's why fasting is so important to do on a regular basis. And now, you can find all kinds of evidence of the benefits of intermittent fasting, where you keep an 18-hour gap between your final meal and your next meal the following day. Because if you can have good bowel movements every day, it's a sign of good health and good digestion. That is very important. So liver, other organs, and the systems are free to drive out toxins because they don't have to eat and digest and assimilate food. They can do clean and repair. So this is a juice fast here. But if we're going to do long fasting, what is long? 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Juice fasting is fine. We never recommend a long fast without any juice or water. But in our system, we actually, the system that we follow is family persons, they dry fast twice a month. Dry means, say tomorrow is the fasting day. So from the sunrise of tomorrow until the sunrise the following day, one will not take any liquid or solid, nothing at all. And this is called a dry fast, and it has double the intensity of a liquid fast because there's nothing at all the body has to concern itself with, and so it can do maximum clean and repair. But it's only one day, so it doesn't tax the body too much. Depending on your job, if you're a construction worker or you're working in the hot sun, then, of course, then you have to be very careful. Then you would rather do it on a day in which you have a day off. I know a person that works in Vancouver as a carpenter. Cannot fast when he's working. He fasts on the weekends when he's off. So it's fine. At least he's doing fasting. It's important. And so we feel more relaxed in our body and mind. And on those days, if we can, according to our availability, we'd use that time more for. There's nothing to digest in the body. The body is light. It's an ideal day to do more meditation and contemplation. Body is unburdened by the need to digest food. 6 main causes of disease: mental stress, lack of exercise, overeating, or eating when not hungry causes acidity. Wrong fundamental diet. Too much calorie-rich, protein-rich, or sugar-rich food. Spiritual emptiness. I was with my host, Vimal, and we were in the park the other day, and I was saying, not so many obese people here, because the United States has 44% rate of obesity, highest in the world. He said, Dada, they're not here because they're at home. They're not exercising. These people you see, they're out and about, they're walking their dog and they're exercising, they're swimming, they're jogging. Yeah, they look good. It's the people at home sitting in front of the TV as a couch potato all day. They're the ones that are overweight. We have to be very, very careful today, because it's not like in a previous generation where we worked very hard in physical jobs. Many of our jobs are online or white collar, or, sitting in the office 8 hours a day. Just don't get exercise. That's why gyms have become, fitness centers have become so popular. Take advantage of that, of course, especially if we have a sedentary job. And then, there's overeating, eating when we're not hungry, because if you're not hungry, your digestive juices are not going to. Maybe you're still full from the last meal. Take liquids that time. Take liquids and then eat later. Of course, we know the great harm of sugar-rich food. And for those that have a tendency towards type 2 diabetes, all forms of sugar are they have to be very careful. So if possible, we can get sugar from dried fruits. It's a good source of sugar. And the fiber in that dried fruits actually helps us in digestion. If we have to take sugar, then take it in its most, how do I say, dense form, not as a white sugar, for example.
Processed.
Most processed, yeah. Avoid the processed form as much as possible. That's why I suggest dried fruits. I love dried fruits. 3 dates for breakfast. Fantastic. You're getting the fiber, you're getting the sugar, and you're not spiking your sugar levels. Spiritual emptiness, well, that's through our spiritual practices of meditation, good company. We can overcome this because the mind and soul are inside the body. And so even we're healthy, but we lack meaning, direction in our life. That's going to tell on yeah. That's very common today in Western society. Affluence is there, but spiritual emptiness is also there. Number one cause of disease, indigestion. What are the symptoms of indigestion? Bloating, constipation, headache, irritated bowels, tiredness, coated tongue, bad breath, skin problems, can't sleep at night, nervousness, allergies, so many things. Sugar highs and lows. Yeah. All from eating either too much sugar, too much protein, or too much calories in the diet. Weak liver, kidney, and kidney stones. Inflammation. So bloating is a form of inflammation. When you get up in the morning, that's why, our habit is to use what's called a tongue cleaner. It's made out of metal or copper, and after brushing the teeth, we stick out the tongue and we clean the tongue from the residue that has deposited on the tongue after sleep. And if one is fasting, there's even more residue because there's so much toxins that have been produced due to the fast, and it's very important to clean that. So we should clean the tongue every morning after brushing teeth. It's called tongue cleaner or tongue scraper. You can find them in local stores. Most problems related to blood or respiration. Acid reflux and heartburn. So all of these related to indigestion. Yeah. So it's important to be careful with the quantities of food. It's not easy. My host cooks very delicious food. I'm so much tempted to eat more than I should. It's a common problem for us. My master said the formula is 50% solid, 25% liquid, 25% air. In other words, don't eat full billing yet. The Okinawans, one of the longest living communities in the world, before they eat, they do a prayer, Hari Hachibu. I will eat only to 80% of my capacity, similar to ours. 75%, Hari Hachibu. What is Yoga Detox? Do you remember this? Do you know this gentleman, Morgan Spurlock? He went on a 30-day McDonald's fast. He only ate McDonald's food for 30 days. He got extremely sick because he's eating the fast food. And so he wanted to demonstrate in a very dramatic way the great harm we do our body by eating this fast food from McDonald's, Wimpy's, Popeye, and so on. So the way to become healthy is to do a yoga detox. facilitates the body's natural intake of nutrition and the elimination of toxins. And yoga, the yoga practice itself, develops harmony in body, mind, spirit, and action. So that's why it's called Yoga Detox. We do our yoga, we do our meditation, and we do fast. Beautiful combination. And that's why we're saying, if it is at all possible, devote more time to meditation and the fasting. The water we don't consume, we can water the plants. The food we don't consume, we can give to the homeless or to the poor. So what are the physical effects of a detox? They enhance our body's healing system, remove impurities from the blood in the liver, the most important organ of our body. Over 500 jobs it does every day, the liver. So this organ must be kept very, very healthy and tip-top. Helps eliminate toxins from the kidneys, intestines, lungs, lymph, and skin. There's 5 types of detox fasting, depending on your strength, on your, say your diet, your daily habits, your work routine. So you can start on the easiest level and eventually go to the deeper level. There's no rush. Fasting should be an enjoyable experience. I just received an email yesterday and the day before. This person who I met in Vancouver, she completely misunderstood our fasting system. I told her we're doing fasting 4 times. I do fasting 4 times a month. Instead, she did 4 times a month dry fast. She did 4 days dry fast. I said, my goodness, you completely misunderstood. That's completely. How did you survive? She said, Dad, I'm so sorry. I took some coconut water in the midnight of the 3rd night, and I could manage the 4th day. I said, no, don't do like this anymore. She will detest fasting. She will detest coming to the fasting day. I explained to her in an email, this is how you fast. So we shouldn't take it to that extreme. Otherwise, we'll never do fasting, and that's what I mentioned. 5, the dry fast is the hardest of all. Water fast. If somebody's really, really fat, then they can manage. I know some of my colleagues, when they're in their younger years, they would 30 days water fast. They feel really good, but they are heavy set people and they're slow. Their metabolism is slow. I'm very lean and thin, and I'm very, very active. So I could never do a long water fast. Lemon water fast, because lemon is the most alkaline substance we can consume. So lemon is extremely beneficial for us. Juice fasting, of course. And, if somebody's a non-veg, they have never been exposed to fasting whatsoever. They can even take fruits or vegetables in the fasting day. Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And it's very important how we break a dry fast, because whole day, we've not taken anything. Night, nothing. We've completely dry. So the body is very dehydrated. And we have to replenish liquids of the body. So, as I mentioned, lemon has a very, very purgative effect combined with salt. Salt and lemon together in the water invokes a purge. And so it's important. Everybody's different. For me, I'll take 1.5 liters of salty lemon water. What does salty mean? 1 tablespoon. It's salty, but I'll flush. So you have to find, but your water should be salty. Your lemon water should be salty. Because what's going to happen, it's going to invoke a temporary diarrhea. You might go to the bathroom 3-4 times after drinking that lemon water. That's good. You're getting rid of all the toxins. Then you take your breakfast. So, there's no, like, for some people, 1 tablespoon is too much. Well, you find your level, okay? And it's a matter of experimenting a little bit. But the best part of fasting is breaking the fast, of course. And the food tastes so much more nice next day, because we've gone the whole day, we've gone 36 hours without food. Our taste buds are very, very sensitive to the taste. Yes, the 3 healthiest communities in the world, average age above 100. The blue zones, Dan Buettner, you can read his book or you can watch his YouTube videos. Dan Buettner, the blue zones. It's gone all over the world, and he found out what are the common patterns that people that live long, what are the common patterns that has contributed to their long life. And this is here. What do they eat? In North Pakistan, there's a tribe called the Hunzas. Fruit, vegetable, grains, and yogurt. In Georgia, Abkhazians, northeast of Turkey. What's their diet? Fruit, vegetables, grains. Look at it. There you go. Vilcabamba in Ecuador. Look at that. Same. Fruit, veggies, grain, and sour milk yogurt. There are other places. What is it? Okinawans. And there's one in Greece. I forget the name. Beautiful. Watch the blue zones. So interesting. So inspiring. Social relationships are very important. Sardinia also. Social relationships are very important. That's why in yoga we call good company satsang. Keeping good company. Help you to overcome stress. When you're in company that you're striving to change your life or improve your life, maybe you're getting into meditation, you need the good company. You need those that are also moving in that direction. You'll feel comforted by the difficulties that you face, they also face, and so you can share. Water. Many headaches are caused by lack of water, not enough water. So now we're in hot weather in North America. Summertime, we have to drink lots of water. We must stay hydrated. And eating food, it helps. Digestion is helped by drinking water, not with the meal, but after the meal. So this seems like a lot, but if we're taking a lot of fruits in our diet, fruits are very full of water. Watermelon is 92% watermelon. It's 92% water, watermelon. So if we're taking fruits, then maybe we don't need such huge quantities. But if we have skin disease, then yes, water is very important to help us get rid of skin disease. Water, not soft drink, not sugary drinks, plain, simple water or lemon water. Both are fine. I have a 1.2 liter water bottle. It's lemon water I take every day. It's been my habit for many, 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 many years. And by God's grace, I'm still in pretty good health at my age, 72. Mental and spiritual detox. In our system, we teach 42 poses: sitting, standing, lying, twisting, squatting, and inverted. All the positions of the body. We have poses for that. You may learn the poses that are good for your health, good for your meditation. And you practice them once a day if you can. Devote 30 minutes of your morning before breakfast to do yoga exercise. You don't need to go to a yoga studio if you're disciplined. You learn from a teacher and you practice those. Save money and keep your good health. Meditation, connecting to the higher power, bringing meaning into our life, helping us to become free from stress and tension, and trying to experience the inner peace that is characteristic of thoughtlessness. We have a spiritual dance, which we do before meditation, which brings within us the feeling of love. Love is all there is, and that's what we do Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. with Mauricio, the Bhavanam Kevalam, 15 minutes of the
the dynamic meditation, the dance.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes meditation.
Yeah.
And they can use the same link.
Well, it's very, very, very good. And thousands of tunes of this mantra are available on YouTube. Beautiful. You can enjoy more the singing than maybe the meditation. It's so beautiful. And then system of breathing, which one learns as part of the meditation, known as pranayama. Breath and mind are interrelated. The slower the breath, the deeper is the concentration. The more relaxed we are. So in certain lessons of meditation, we actually learn how to control the breath through what's known as pranayama practice, alternate nostril breathing. So what are the 6 steps to perfect health? Water, diet. We recommend plant-based diet, vegetarian diet. It's more humane. Out of respect for all life, we're eating lower on the food chain, so we try to avoid animals. We can live very healthily on plants. This adheres to the principle of ahimsa, not to harm other living beings. Especially today, we see how cruelly cows, pigs, chickens are treated in factory farms in North America and now in so many countries around the world. So we're participating in an act of egregious cruelty. It's not good for our karma. Slowly and gradually, we should try to find a way to become a vegetarian, good for our health of the planet and our spiritual well-being also. So many benefits to plant-based diet. Fasting, which we talked about today. So water, food, fasting, of course, exercise, whether it's yoga or it's cardiovascular. We have a dance for the brothers, which is a very good cardiovascular dance. And for sisters also. Go jogging, fast walking, Very good practices. If you cannot do fast walking or jogging, you can at least walk. It's good. Daily exercise is super important. And obesity is so common in this country because people are not getting enough exercise. Weight training, also good. A little bit of weights every day. Jumping on the trampoline. Then we have stimulation treatments, mud pack. Soil has curative properties. So when you place it on your skin and when it dries, it pulls out the toxins from the skin. The mud pack is very popular. And when I was working in Africa, the African people, they routinely use mud on their skin and their skin is shiny. Sun bath also helps to overcome skin problems. Certain times of the day, sun bath is recommended. Sauna or steam bath. Infrared. Hot foot bath. So in our centers around the world, the participants learn all of these stimulation treatments. When there's not a class or meditation or meal, they're doing their sun bath, mud pack, sauna, infrared, hot foot bath, all very helpful for our health. This is what you can get when you go to a wellness center. And ours are fairly cheap. We have them all over the world. And of course, meditation. 6 steps to perfect health: water, food, fasting, exercise, stimulation treatments, and meditation. 5 of the 6 you can do every day. Maybe the stimulation treatment's not every day. But nowadays, they have these individual saunas. You can zip it up and, you can have it in your own home. It's very small. So if you have time, you could even do that.